Hi everybody. So I'm finally doing this. I'm getting in front of the camera and I have been wanting to share a few things. There's things that I'm working on right now that I will be releasing slowly. One of my personal challenges for 2024 is to get in front of the camera more and start speaking. And so today is me doing this the first time. I know you've seen me do other videos, but this is different. This is like an actual setup and everything. So I was just thinking last night, because I've been doing so much research and prep work behind the scenes for what I want to launch this year. And a part of that has been the power of an apology and the healing power of being able to say sorry. And I'm going to tell you a little story. So when I went through my divorce, I had a paralegal help me, and he was a Hispanic man, and he saw what I was going through. And one day when I was meeting with him, he said, "Miss Hernandez, I would really like to apologize on behalf of all the Hispanic men in this country because you should have never been treated this way." He said, "I know a lot of women who immigrate to America in the hopes of, being married and building a family and being taken care of and protected. And he said a lot of them go through what you're going through and they end up in front of me. And a lot of times they're so abused and so mistreated, but they're not even able to leave because they are dependent on the people that they are here for. And so it's very hard for them. And even after that, a lot of them who do have opportunity to leave don't leave because they're psychologically so, conditioned to stay that they don't leave." And you are the first Indian woman who I am speaking with in the recent past or in the recent time that has had the courage to do what you're doing. And so I'm going to support you. And that apology is something that I didn't know that I was ever going to get from anybody. I didn't expect it. I wished for it, but to actually hear somebody say that they were sorry, and step in and take the place of somebody who could have apologized, Anyways, he was so kind, and just his ability to take that ownership and stand in the place of someone who didn't, but chose to do it for me, really healed my heart. And not only did it heal my heart from what I was going through at that time, but it also really helped me, like it helped prevent a lot of unnecessary scarring and separation and prejudice and hatred, or just things that might have accumulated in my heart and my mind, if I had never gotten that apology, right? And so I know that him apologizing to me really set me up for a very healing journey in a sense. And so even though through the years I will say that I have struggled, especially when it comes to relating to Hispanic men, I always think back about, this time when my paralegal stepped in and apologized to me. And it's something that has really stood very dear in my heart. I have maintained or did maintain a relationship with him, and I told him, because not only did he help me in terms of the apology, he also stepped in and took care of my paperwork. He paid for some things that I wasn't able to pay. He really took care of me, and he was nothing but a miracle and an angel sent from heaven for me. And the beauty of it all was that his name was Jesus. And it was like the Lord sent me a Hispanic man named after him to apologize on behalf of Hispanic men because of a pain and a wound that I had experienced. And to me, that just, it's one of those things when I go through difficult times now, I think about how Jesus really planned to intervene and take care of me in a very difficult time. So all that to say, I am here today because I thought it would be a nice thing to start off my whole 2024 video series, whatever you want to call it, with an apology. And I know a lot of you know that I'm a person of faith. I don't force it on anybody, but I never hesitate to share that with people. And I really do believe that my life should speak louder than my words. But I also sense the Lord calling me into using my voice more and speaking up and sharing things that He has taught me, and just talk about Him and who He's been to me. And hopefully through that journey of who God has been for me, you will find some type of encouragement and hope and, willingness to try have a relationship with Him, or strengthen an already existing relationship with Him. So I just want to say, on behalf of Christian people, on behalf of Christians, I am sorry. I am sorry if we have misrepresented Christ in the ways we have behaved. I know a lot of us have gone through experiences with people who claim to be Christian, who claim to follow Christ, who claim to have a relationship with Him. And there were a lot of times when those very people hurt us. And so I am one of them too. I am not perfect at all, right? But this is not my time to use that as an excuse to justify any type of behavior. And so I am just here to say sorry. I am sorry if we have made a mess of the Messiah. I am sorry if we have used our relationship with Him to manipulate, control, and abuse you. I know that one experience, one encounter can leave a lot of scars. And it's very easy to point a finger at someone and say, well, you just need to forgive, and you just need to move on, and you just need to, do X, Y, and Z. But as somebody that does a lot of work with trauma and understands its impact, I know that in the journey of healing and reconciliation, ownership is a big component. And I don't see ownership coming from a lot of people in positions of power and authority. The biggest thing that I think is an obstacle to healing between generations, or between, people with power differentials, is the stubbornness of people in positions of power and leadership to take that moment to apologize, to be honest, and to share with their people, like, hey, I'm sorry. I think we're scared of apologizing sometimes because in some twisted way we think that we're going to lose control over the situation, or we're going to lose respect. And I think that's so sad, because I know that's the temptation, and that might be very well, like, there are some people that may take advantage of that, but that that shouldn't stop us from apologizing when we are the ones who should be the examples. We are the ones that have maybe a position of power or authority in a situation and circumstance that we are in. I think about the number of parents that refuse to apologize to their children. They never model to them how to apologize and move through, disagreements, or to do the repair work to maintain and strengthen relationships. And then I think about my own journey with Jesus and how many times He has apologized to me. Even as a young person, even as a teenager, as a young adult, there were so many times when He would step into places that, human beings consider themselves too holy to step into. And He would be there with me, apologizing and, reconciling. And He really modeled to me how to repair relationships. And so I just want to say that today. I'm going to start off here, and there's a lot more to come. I think that when I look back at my own relationship with God, He was so humble. There's so many moments when I was like, that person is a human being and they're not saying sorry to me, but He would. And so don't let anybody or anything separate you from him. Don't even let a Christian separate you from Christ, because we need him. Not that we are going to need him. We need him for the times that we are in and for where we are going. We cannot fight in our what's the word? In our constricted, limited human strength, wisdom, brain power, logic, anything. Just human power is not going to be enough. We are not fighting. First of all, we are not fighting a natural war right now. It appears to be that, but if you read my story from yesterday, you know that I was talking about, we are fighting a supernatural war. And even the people that are presenting like they're not leaning into things of the spiritual nature or supernatural nature, they are. And these are people on the highest levels of, power and authority in this world. And so there is no way we are going to win a supernatural war with our natural ability. And the one thing I really want for people is to have that relationship with Jesus, to build their own relationship with Jesus, because there is nothing that I value more than what I have with him. Not what somebody else teaches me about him, what I have with him, what I have had with him for the last 25, 26 years, and who he has been to me personally, privately, intimately. He has built a relationship with me that no other human being really has those many years with me in such a depth and intimacy that he has. And I want that for as many people as possible. So I encourage you today, when you think of your own life, your own experiences, and especially for those who have children as parents, when you think about the world that we live in and the world that is being developed right now, we have to equip ourselves and equip our children with a relationship with something that goes beyond us, that can fight on the same level of the things that we are encountering. So I hope you enjoyed this little talk today. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.